In this video, I'm going to walk us through how the course is set up in Brightspace, okay? So you know where to find everything that you need to be looking for. Okay, so to start with, we need to get into Brightspace. So to do that, you first go to the UMS portal. So here I am, I've logged into the UMS portal. I come to the launch pad. If it's closed, make sure you just open the launch pad. And I find the icon for Brightspace. It's this orange circle with a B in the middle of it. So I click on that, and it takes me to the launching page for Brightspace. So I scroll down and I see all the courses over here that I've got set up for me in Brightspace. I've got a lot because I save all my old courses. Find our specific course, and that is EHD 573 for 2022 summer. So it's right here. Notice it's inactive now, but it'll be active by the time you see this video. So I click on that, and it takes me to our home page for our course. So here we are, kind of the course homepage, and notice it's got a list of kind of these tabs and a menu at the top, kind of this horizontal top menu. Course home, and that's where it starts with. Here is our course home. It's got the name of the course, little information about me over here with an outdated picture. I need to update my picture a little bit. And then course announcements. As I make announcements in Brightspace over the course of the summer, they'll all appear here. Kind of the most recent ones will appear here. We'll talk more about that in a minute. Okay, so that's kind of the course homepage. Then going back to this top menu, there's the content section. Let's click on that. And this is where you're going to spend most of your time. This is where most of our stuff is located. So let's kind of take a look at this closely here. The biggie, the key thing is this weekly schedule over here. So notice there's a menu on the left side, this kind of a menu of everything in the content section. Weekly schedule, right now it's only showing 2 weeks, week 1 and week 2. Right? As the summer goes on, more and more weeks will become available at kind of an accelerated pace for us. I don't want to make everything available now because I'm still working on stuff for later on in the summer. So, but it'll all get unfolded, probably by July 4th-ish, if you want to finish early. But everything for the course is organized just like you see on the syllabus, week by week by week. And so if you go to, for example, week 1, you start off and you see here is a summary at the top of what are our readings for that week. There may be some additional information or description about the readings or work that we're doing that week. Then you see videos. And so these are all the course videos that come back that kind of relate to those readings. So, of course, they go together. The readings and the videos. And you just watch the videos in the order that they appear in Brightspace. So you just come here, there's these 2 introduction videos. There'll be a 3rd one once I finish this one, that'll be there as well. And then we have for different topics for week 1, a video on statistics and research, populations, parameters, all of it. It'll make sense as you watch the videos. Each has a little description about what that video is about. Well, we'll keep going, and then we'll delve into this a little bit more. And you see there's a fair number of videos there that you go through. They're all kind of broken down into nice bite-sized chunks. I try to keep them under 20 minutes. So you can see like 7 minutes, 19, that's getting a little long. 8 minutes, 11 minutes. So it gives you also a sense of how long the videos are. So week 1, you come in, you go to week 1, you see, oh, I need to be reading chapter 1, chapter 2. Here's the videos I need to be watching. There's PDFs, we'll take a look at that go along with the videos. Then week 2, you come in, do the same thing. Once you finish week 1, we come to week 2. And it says that the Monday, my weeks are all organized Monday to Monday to Monday. So this is that week starting May 16th. Here's some description of what we're doing. Here's the readings for that week. And then here's the videos for that week. And you can see more videos for week 2. A lot of videos. A couple things, as I said, notice for each video, it has a description of what that video is about, and you just kind of go through the sequence. The video, you can also, well, let's take a look at a couple of these videos quickly, and you can kind of see some differences with how we do that. So here's one video. I'm going to jump down a bit. You can see this is one of my older videos. You're going to notice different formats for the videos as I've redone them over and over and over again over the years. So here's kind of an older format of one when I was first starting to do this. So you may see some videos will look kind of like that. Then there's others that kind of intermediate that look kind of like this sort of a format you're going to see, making a pie chart about pies. How more fun can you be than that? And then kind of the more newer ones you'll see look like this, you know. Oh, and you'll also notice I try to slip in some pop cultural entertaining things from time to time.
In this video, we'll discuss different characteristics that define the shape of distributions and some overall patterns that you may often see.
I've evolved as an instructor over the years.
I think it's good practice to always visually examine the distribution of your data in some way before you proceed too far with your analysis and interpretation.
So watch the videos. And in addition to, so you've got the link to the video, they're all on YouTube, so you can also watch them on YouTube if you just, select to watch it on YouTube as well. But with most videos, if I've got slides that go along with the video, you'll notice there's this little PDF icon next, that's next to the video in Brightspace. And if you click on that PDF, look what it does. It gives you a copy of the slides that were part of that video. This was a crazy amount of work to make, but it is a great tool for you to use, a great resource for you to use when you're learning stats. So print off the slides. I've made them for you. I make them available for you so that you can use them as detailed lecture notes. Don't just download and save the PDF and put it somewhere that you're not sure where it is. Print it off. When you're watching the video, take notes on the slides. Write on the slides kind of any thoughts, questions you have, or clarifications, or pointers that I might be saying in the video. Put it in the slide, because again, it's a great resource. Of these detailed lecture notes for you to use. And particularly when you're doing the assignments. The assignments are open book, and boy, it's convenient if you've got the slides of me working through the problem step by step by step by step, and you've got that in the slides, and now you're doing it on the assignment, and it's like, oh, it's just like we did in the videos. So do that. I've had students, too many students, halfway through or even a little later than halfway through come back and say, why wasn't I printing off the slides? This is the way to do the course. And it's like, I know, that's kind of what I said. So print the slides off. Take advantage of that. Okay? Similar to that, watch the videos. And it's a lot of videos. But trust me, it was a lot of work to make them. And there's a reason why I made them, is that it will help you with the class. Some students think, I can just work off the book, and if you're really good with numbers and that, you may be able to do fine just working off the book. But there's material that we cover in the videos that I think can really help you do well in the course. And the way we approach things in the videos, the way the examples we'll use, the way we'll solve the problems line up with what the homework assignments are like. So it's a lot easier to do the homework if you've been watching the videos as well. So I strongly encourage you, even if you're good with math and you think I can handle this book just fine and I don't need to watch the video, watch the videos. There's a reason I put all that energy into making them. It will help. So take advantage of that. In addition to videos each week, so even like in week 2, you'll notice there's a couple things here. At the bottom, I've got practice problems on variability. You can just click on this, and it's a PDF you can download on some practice problems. So here's some examples, and I walk you through steps of solving that problem, things that we're going to be doing a lot later on. So here's a way just to kind of check that you understand what you need to be doing for your own edification. It's not graded, it's just practice, but the detailed answers are there so that you can check that, okay, I do understand how to do this. Or if you get stuck, you can shoot me an email or come to office hours and we can go through it together to see where the problem is. Okay, so you can also see, in addition to the videos, you may also see these sorts of practice problems or supplemental or extra material show up. For example, here's an optional video on what's called the sum of squares computational formula. Don't worry about that yet, but when we get to week 2, we'll talk about this very cool thing called sum of squares, and there's a formula, there's a way of doing a formula with it that some students have, you can either just take it on faith that you can use this and it works, or some students have asked, I'd like to see why that works. So I've made a video that kind of walks you through why that works. As it says here, it's optional, and if it's an optional video, it's not going to show up on assignments or anything. But some students have been interested in some additional content, so you'll occasionally see these sorts of optional videos show up if you're looking for more. Okay, so that's the weekly schedule. This is the baby. This is what makes the class work. I try to be very organized, very detailed, and just take advantage of that. Go week by week by week, and again, they'll be accelerated so you can get a couple weeks ahead. If you want to do that, that's great. But follow that schedule. It's all tied back to the syllabus. So like I said in the syllabus video, if you follow that schedule, if you follow this sequence, you'll be fine for the course, getting everything done and done in time. Also in the content folder, and that's this content section of Brightspace, there's this little section on assignments. As the assignments become available, as we cover all the material in the weekly schedule, as everything in the weekly schedule, once the weekly schedule has everything for an assignment, that's a better way of saying it, because it may be presented earlier than we talk about it, kind of weekly. But once the weekly schedule covers everything for an assignment, that assignment will be available here. So, we'll get through I'll send out an announcement telling you assignment 1, assignment 2, assignment 3 has been posted. Now you can, if you've done that material, you're ready to go. So this is where you'll see the assignments showing up that then you complete and email to me. Calculators, here's another tool. Well, this is actually a tool that I've made. If you are, if you look at the book, you'll notice there's a lot of tables at the back of the book for different statistical distributions or statistical tests. And those tables can be very confusing and cumbersome and hard to use. It's very 1990s technology. And what pains me sometimes as the instructor is I see a student who I'm convinced they understand the construct, they understand the concept, they know what they're doing, but then they get to these tables and you've got to find the right column and find the right row, and sometimes you have to add 0.5 or subtract 0.5 or double it or subtract it from 1 or subtract half of it from 1. And students they'll understand everything, but that final step of making those crazy tables work, they get kind of stumbling along there. And they can't demonstrate. They're not able to demonstrate their depth of knowledge. So rather than using the tables, I have created these Google Sheets that are much more straightforward. Students love it, the feedback they've given me once I've done this, and they've tried it both ways, that it's much more clean. You put in the information and it gives you the answer. Much more straightforward. You don't have to do all those manipulations that you have to do using the tables in the book. I've come close to just forbidding students from using the tables, but if you want to use the table in the book, you can do that, but you're taking a risk. You're taking your grade in your own hands if you try to do it. The Google Sheets are great, and it'll make more sense once we come to it, and we'll talk about that in the videos. And you can see there's actually a video here that we'll get to in a few weeks to kind of explain how to use it. So it may not make sense now, but trust me, these calculators, these, I call them magic, because it takes the chaos of those tables and magically just gives you the right answer, are very handy. So definitely pay attention to these. Additional material, there's a little section here in case I add some additional readings, maybe some additional optional readings or something that this is where I can store it, where you can find that. Discussion forums, we've got 4 discussion forums set up. I'm going to talk about, there's 2 of these, discussion on readings. Well, the first one, actually the second one in the list here, discussion on readings, lectures, videos. This is where if you're watching the video and something's unclear, or you're kind of looking back and trying to find something in a video, you can post a question here to your classmates and say, look, I'm a little confused. Craig said it this way, the book said it that way. What do people think? Am I understanding this right? And your classmates can jump in. If you've got a question, trust me, they've got a question. And the best way to learn for everybody is if you've got the question, hear it from someone else. Listen to one of your classmates that's thought it through, and if they can explain it in a way that makes sense to you, that's just one other way of seeing things that can be very helpful for you as a learner. But even if you're the one who understands the material and you're explaining it to a fellow classmates, there's no better way to firm up your own understanding than be able to explain the concept to someone else. Is just a great way of, everyone's a winner if you do that. I've been doing this for many, many years, and I still bounce ideas off of my colleagues. I'm a little confused about this. What do you think? Or I'm trying to make sense of that. This is how you learn. This is how life works. So it's a great way to do that. There is a second one on discussion on assignments if you've got a specific question, not about the videos, but about an assignment. The key here is you just can't say, what's the answer to 2H on, assignment 3, question 2H. You can't just do that. But rather, if sometimes I've seen students look for, I'm kind of stuck on something here. Where did we talk about this? Or where, and someone will say, well, rewatch this video or that video or this part of the book. And that can kind of help. Or even just, again, without giving the answer, kind of explaining a little bit about, well, kind of what you need to do, area under the curve, and, and these things we'll talk about as the magic words and stuff. You can help each other without giving them the answer. So if there's questions on assignments, or it may just also be, when was this one due again? If someone forgets. So there's those 2 forums. Don't give answers, but help each other learn. Then there's 2 other forums that I've added based on student feedback. One is study groups, and if you've read the syllabus or watched the syllabus video, I think study groups are awesome for a class like this. And a couple years ago, some students came to me and said they'd love to form a study group, but they couldn't figure out how to connect up with their colleagues to try to do that. So it's like, well, of course, let's create a forum where you can post, I'm interested in joining a group, or I'm making a study group. Are other people interested in joining? And you can post and people can connect up to figure out how to form study partnerships or larger groups. So that's what that forum's for, based on student suggestions. And then this other topics at the bottom is where you can post anything about anything. And again, kind of feedback I've received from students over the years with asynchronous courses like this is you've got these friends you've made that you've taken other courses with, and you don't see each other when it's an asynchronous course, but you'd like to still kind of share what's going on in life. And you can't do that when it's an asynchronous course where you could before class or after class if you're meeting in Scheibels somewhere. So I made this other topics forum, and that's where you can post anything about anything. Students have posted, I'm getting married, I'm buying a house, I've adopted a dog, we're having a child, all sorts of stuff. Anything about anything that they just want to share with each other. All the forums, not graded, not part of your grade, completely optional, but they're there if you'd like. Then here's a copy of the syllabus. You can click down here, it takes you to this other little, you can see a copy of the syllabus. Any updates that may come along over the course of the summer would show up here as well. And then there's a section, resources to help you succeed. This is kind of a little module that I think CITL made that just has links and information that they've put together to help students. So it's available there if you're interested in some of that information. So that's kind of the content folder along the top of this top menu. And again, the weekly schedule is the biggie. That's where you get access to all the videos and the slides that go with the videos and other material. Then there's course resources. This has a little drop down. Announcements. Here's where you will see a list of announcements that I make for class. They'll all appear here so that you can find any of the announcements. Now, you should get announcements via email. They'll go to your main.edu account. So make sure you're either checking your main edu account daily or making sure it gets forwarded to another email address if you're using that one. Because you got to get the announcements. This is where you're going to get really important stuff. It may be changes in due dates. It may be changes in problems or clues to how to, if there's an issue with one of the assignments. There may be information about, that's clarifying a problem, or students will. You may notice that if I get a common question by a couple students, I'll post an announcement clarifying things. Okay, a couple of you have come and asked about this. Let me provide some more insight about that, and I'll do an announcement talking about it. So you've got to get the announcements, or you're really putting yourself at a disadvantage. So don't ignore them when you get them, and definitely read them. And if you lose track of them, they're all archived here. So again, you should get them via email, but you can come to, you go to course resources, announcements, and there will be the list of all the announcements that I've sent out over this semester. There is also under course resources a class list. This was another thing students suggested. They wanted to see the class list as a way of just seeing else who's there. So it's like, I'm curious, is so-and-so or so-and-so, or, some colleagues I've taken other courses with, are they here this semester? And students have used that as a way of also just helping to identify friends that they can study with for the course. So you can see that just the students enrolled this semester for this specific course. And then other, email, Fogler Library links, summer university information you can access. Assessments, here's where you see, so you keep going across this top menu. We click on assessments, there's two options. One is grades. Here's where you see your grades. As you complete each assignment, the grades will appear. And then also the discussion forums, just the way Brightspace is structured, the discussion forums also show up here with a little more information, some description, and how many threads or posts there are, you can see for those. So it's the same discussion forums, they just show up under assessments because that's the way Brightspace does it. You'll notice there's no quizzes, no tests, no assignments, because you're not doing those in Brightspace, you download a copy of the PDF from the content folder, right over here under content, right? We saw assignments. They're going to show up here as PDFs, and then you're emailing them to me. You're not putting them into quizzes or uploading them into Brightspace. You're emailing them to me. So under assessments, all you're seeing are your grades and the discussion forums. There is no place to upload them. That's confused some students in the past. Okay, email them to me, and the grades will then, once I'll enter the grades into Brightspace. Then some tools for Brightspace, nothing we're really going to be using, and additional help resources you can get. Okay, so that is how Brightspace appears on well, that's how the course appears in Brightspace. Again, watch the videos, download the slides, print the slides, take notes on the slides, use that as your kind of the key for getting through this course, following that weekly schedule. It's all very organized for you. So again, I hope that helps. If you've got any questions, shoot me an email. I'm happy to answer anything you may have about it. All right? Otherwise, look forward to working with you. Take care. Bye-bye.